Feels really good to be in a Padres uniform when I did it. That was my first no-hitter I've ever thrown in my life. So pretty crazy that it comes on the big league stage and I'm in a Padres uniform. Being able to keep myself in check every inning and focus on one pitch at a time, and that's something that Larry, kept bringing up to me as we got into the seventh inning on was, don't try to do more, just execute one pitch at a time, and like you've been doing all game. I think I looked up in the sixth inning because I'd only thrown 6 innings my last couple starts. Actually, I threw 5 in my last spring start, 6 in my first start of the season. So as that 6th inning came around, I thought my pitch count was a lot higher than it was, and I knew I had no hits, but I figured to get 6, 7, 8, and 9 innings in, I was going to be way too high in the pitch count. So I was kind of at peace with the idea that I would go 6, 7, shutout innings, hitless, and then hand it over to the pen and see if they could finish it off. And I looked up at the scoreboard to see what pitch count was, and I was at like 67, and I was like, oh, we got some room to work with. So, and in Vic, I can't say enough about Vic. He's just so good behind the dish. And I think what I was so, impressed with was his feel for the hitters and what they were going to do. It was like it seemed like he knew exactly when they were swinging, when they weren't swinging, which guys we needed to throw chase pitches at 0-0 and which guys we can go in the zone at 0-0 to try to get control of the count. On multiple occasions, he told me in between innings that, this guy coming up here, he was like a scientist. He was like calculating how many guys until we get to the top of the order so that by the 6th, 7th inning, it would be, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, like just doing all the math and figuring out which guys we need to, be more aggressive with fastballs and sinkers or cutters to get, quick one pitch outs to try to save a few pitches here and there. He just did such a good job back there, and it made my job so easy just to, let him call the game and just try to execute pitches.
Could Jace have taken you out if you tried?
No, I wasn't coming out of that game. And I knew if once I gave up the hit, I expected that, that would be my night and I'd be all right with that. But I was just so locked in. I had no intention of coming out of that game. It just feels so good to show these guys that I'm here to compete, and that, with all the distractions that there can be playing at home and living in your own city, I'm ready to play. And with those guys behind you, they do such a good job of getting you an early lead and allowing you to go out there and just be aggressive in the zone and attack. And without knocking them, it was kind of nice that we were going 1, 2, 3 offensively, so I can get back out there and stay fresh. Because had those innings gotten a little longer, who knows how it would have turned out. But I was able to get up and get going, with short half innings, so got me an early lead, and then we just rode it out to the end. So, but it feels incredible, The city of San Diego showed me so much love even before I came to the Padres. Just a San Diego kid that made it to the big leagues. So it feels even better to be able to do it in a Padres uniform and selfishly be able to do it for my city and have everyone know that the kid from Grossmont High threw the first no-hitter. We want to be strong throughout the year. This is a cool, benchmark and a cool, accomplishment for me. But, we're 2 weeks into the season, so we're not even 2 weeks into the season. So, come a week or two, this is going to be old news, and people are only going to like you for what you're doing currently. So I got to get back, get some rest, enjoy tonight, and celebrate with my family and my teammates, and then get ready to get back to work tomorrow. Yeah, I kept it as normal as I could throughout the game. I'm not very superstitious. I have routines for sure, but I always have one of my little superstitions, I guess, or part of my routine is, I drink a lot of water. I think I went through 11 or 12 water bottles tonight, and I always keep them empty ones next to me so I can kind of keep track of how many I'm drinking throughout the game. And I had to piss so bad in like the 4th or 5th inning, but I couldn't. That was the one thing I didn't want to break. Like the superstition of it didn't want me to have to go, use the bathroom in the middle of the start. But I chew gum between innings, just to keep getting some like moisture in my mouth, and just kind of give me something busy to do in between innings. But I always, before every start, I'll line up 9 pieces of bubble gum on my towel, and every half inning I'll come in and I'll eat a piece, and then I'll spit it out as I'm going out of the dugout. And I kind of like that. So I try not to look at the scoreboard as much as I can. So I kind of mark my innings by the little pile of gum that I spit out right there. And tonight's the first night that I got to chew all 9 pieces.
So I need to clarify, did you hold it for 5 innings?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the accomplishment of the night, man. You just don't go in the middle of a game.
Couldn't do it, man. And I know Blake Snell sat on that rail the whole game and did not move. I watched,
Okay.
watching the whole game because I thought about it in like the 8th inning. I was just kind of looking around, trying to like keep my mind busy and not think about the fact that I hadn't given up a hit. And I saw Blake sitting there in the same position with his feet on the rail still. And I was like, I wonder if he's moved it all today. And then after the game in the shower, he was like, dude, I didn't move that whole game. He's like, in the 4th or 5th, we were about to get up and I grabbed Morihone and pulled him back down. But it's cool, man. And just to feel how excited my teammates are and how happy they are for me is a really good feeling. Me and Vic were talking on the way in. I had a real tight back in warmups and even into the first inning or two. I felt like I had a real hard time like getting my good separation, and I feel like I was pulling off a lot of pitches with my front side, and even all the way through like probably the 6th inning, I was still a little bit inconsistent with my delivery. I think I was just kind of willing my way through those at bats. A lot of trust in Vic, and then just will. Whatever I could do to get the pitch to the spot I needed. So I felt like I changed my delivery at one point, just because I felt like I was able to get the ball consistently to spots with that little adjustment. So, no, I mean, by no means was it a day where I felt like I had stuff to go that long and put on a performance like I did. But, once you get into that 6th, 7th, there's no hits on there. You can kind of tap into that extra little bit that's in the tank and try to finish it off. It's super special. I mean, I've always wanted to throw a no-hitter. I never even threw one in high school, little league. All throughout the minor leagues, I've come close, but I don't think anything past the 6 or 7. So it feels really good to do that, but I think more so like prove to yourself that you're capable of doing it. It's always been a goal of mine to go 9 innings and throw a shutout or a complete game. Watching Lance Lynn do it last night, I watched Jameson Tyone do it multiple times when I was in Pittsburgh. That's just an accomplishment to be able to take the ball and end the game, start the game and end it. That's a big accomplishment for me. And, to have the fact of no hits on top of that is extremely special.
What do you think this will mean for your dad?
Oh, he's probably thrilled. My whole family's probably thrilled. Me and my dad had a lot of memories. He's the one that, instilled the love of the game in me at a real young age. He's probably in tears, they all probably are. He's been a Padre fan since the Padres first came into the league. So, he's been there from the start, and I know he's extremely excited that I'm on the Padres now, and he can, we can finally share that same love that we grew up watching together, from a little bit different perspective.